Welcome to CISA Domain 1 Prep Question and Answer from 3V Learning Center, and today we're diving into the core of the CISA exam, the process of auditing information systems. Understanding these concepts isn't just about passing a test, it's about mastering the language of trust and assurance in our digital world. We'll tackle practice questions, covering audit charters, CISA standards, risk assessment, and more. I'll read each question, give you a moment to think, then break down the answer and why it matters. Ready to build your foundation? Let's get started. Question 1. The primary purpose of an internal audit quality assurance improvement program is to evaluate. The options are: efficiency of internal audit processes. B. The adequacy of internal audit staffing. C. The accuracy of prior audit results. D. The effectiveness of the internal audit function. And the correct answer is D, the effectiveness of the internal audit function. Quality Assurance and Improvement Program verifies that the audit function consistently adds value and operates effectively. Question 2. Which of the following activities would allow an IS auditor to maintain independence while facilitating a control self-assessment, CSA? The options are: A. Partially completing the CSA. B. Developing the CSA questionnaire. C. Developing the remediation plan. D. Implementing the remediation plan. The answer is B. Developing the CSA questionnaire. Helping design the control self-assessment CSA questionnaire is acceptable, but auditors should not implement controls to maintain objectivity. Question 3. Which of the following is the best way to facilitate proper follow-up for audit findings? The options are: A. Conduct a surprise audit to verify progress. B. Schedule a follow-up 2 weeks later. C. Follow up only if findings become incidents. D. Schedule based on remediation due dates. The correct answer is D. Schedule based on remediation due dates. Scheduling follow-ups aligned to remediation deadlines ensures findings are addressed timely and effectively. Question 4. An IS auditor finds audit areas they're not qualified to assess. What is the best course of action? The options are: A. Exclude those tests and continue. B. Notify audit management for direction. C. Disclose in the final report. D. Complete the work to the best of their ability. The correct answer is B. Notify audit management for direction. Alerting audit management ensures qualified resources are assigned, maintaining audit quality. Question 5. Which of the following best ensures that only authorized software moves to production? The options are: A. Restrict read-write access to programmers. B. Managers transfer programs after testing. C. Librarian compiles code after independent testing. D. Programming staff move tested code themselves. The correct answer is C. Librarian compiles code after independent testing. Using a librarian or independent party helps enforce segregation of duties and ensures integrity. Question 6. What should be an IS auditor's next course of action when a review reveals IT staff have duties in other departments? The options are: A. Recommend segregation of duties controls. B. Report the issue to HR. C. Determine whether any segregation conflicts exist. D. Report immediately to the audit committee. The correct answer is C. Determine whether any segregation conflicts exist. The auditor must first assess for actual conflicts before suggesting controls. Question 7. What should be done first to define the IT audit universe for an entity with multiple business lines? The options are: A. Identify aggregate residual IT risk for each line. B. Obtain a list of all IT processes. C. Obtain a list of assets critical to the business. D. Identify key control objectives for each line. The correct answer is C. Obtain a list of assets critical to the business. Understanding critical assets is foundational to scoping the audit universe. Question 8. In a decentralized organization, selecting IS products is acceptable as long as... The options are: A. Items align with the organization's IS strategy. B. Managers do a full cost-benefit analysis. C. Offices are independent with occasional data exchange. D. The same OS is used throughout. The correct answer is A. Items align with the organization's IS strategy. Even decentralized purchases must align with strategic IT direction to avoid incompatibility. Question 9. An IS auditor has performed an agreed-upon procedures AUP engagement for the organization's IT steering committee. Which of the following is the most important element to include in the final report? The options are A. Management's representations on the effectiveness of controls. B. An opinion on the overall effectiveness of controls. C. A statement that the engagement was performed in accordance with agreed procedures. D. Complementary user entity controls. The correct answer is C. A statement that the engagement was performed in accordance with agreed procedures. For an agreed-upon procedures engagement, auditor does not provide an opinion but instead reports factual findings. It's critical to state that the work was performed based on agreed procedures, clarifying the scope, and avoiding misunderstanding that an audit opinion was given. Question 10. Which of the following is the best approach to verify that internal help desk procedures comply with policies? The options are A. Test a sample of closed tickets. B. Benchmark help desk procedures. C. Review help desk training materials. D. Interview help desk supervisors. The answer is A. Test a sample of closed tickets. Testing a sample provides direct evidence of compliance with policy and procedures. Question 11. An auditor finds irregularities in a report. First action? The options are A. Inspect source code. B. Review system access. C. Review change management. D. Assess business impact. The correct answer is D. Assess business impact. Impact determines urgency and necessary action. Question 12. Why issue an interim audit report? The options are A. Avoid issuing a final report. B. Finish the audit faster. C. Provide feedback for prompt action. D. Allow follow-up during the audit. The correct answer is C. Provide feedback for prompt action. Interim reports help management act on findings quickly. Question 13. What will data analytics most likely find in accounts payable? The options are A. Sequential invoice payments. B. Duplicate vendor payments. C. Unauthorized vendors. D. Payments to the wrong vendor. The correct answer is B. Duplicate vendor payments. Data analytics easily detects duplicate transactions. Question 14. In a RACI, responsible, accountable, consulted, informed model, which role must be assigned to only one individual? The options are B. Consulted. C. Informed. D. Responsible. The answer is A. Accountable. In a RACI, accountable means the single person who owns the outcome. Question 15. What is most important for an IS auditor to understand when planning an audit? The options are A. Inherent risk. B. Management focus. C. High-risk processes. D. Audit resources. The answer is B. Management focus. Understanding management's priorities ensures the audit aligns with objectives. Question 16. Why review prior audit reports during planning? The options are A. Identify regulatory needs. B. Reduce scope. C. Understand business. D. Address past risks. The answer is D. Address past risks ensures previous risks are not overlooked. Question 17. What document best shows segregation of duties weaknesses? The options are A. Identify regulatory needs. B. Entity relationship diagram. C. Process flowchart. D. System flowchart. The answer is C. The approved audit charter. Process flowcharts map activities and roles. Question 18. If a business unit is too busy to cooperate with an audit, the options are A. Reschedule. B. Notify CA. C. Begin anyway. D. Escalate to audit committee. The answer is B. Notify CAE. The CAE should resolve conflicts with management. Question 19. First step in a follow-up audit? The options are A. Review work papers. B. Review past findings action plans. C. Meet auditee. D. Gather new evidence, and the answer is B. Review past findings action plans. Verify prior findings guide follow-up scope. Question 20. An IS auditor attends dev team meetings. Independence is compromised if the auditor. The options are A. Designs and executes the user acceptance test plan. B. Assists in developing an integrated test facility. C. Reviews system test results. D. Reperforms test procedures. The answer is A. Designs and executes the user acceptance test plan. Designing and executing tests is management's role. It creates self-review threats. Question 21. Management accepts residual risk, but the audit team disagrees. Next step. The options are A. Report to audit committee with management. B. Meet management. C. Note the acceptance and close. D. Report to audit committee without notice. The answer is A. Report to audit committee with management. Escalate through proper channels to resolve risk disagreements. Question 22. Greatest risk of using the same audit program for years? The options are A. More errors from inattentiveness. B. Auditor turnover from boredom. C. Detection risk increases. Auditees no tests. D. Same scope causes inefficiency. The answer is C. Detection risk increases. Auditees no tests. Repetitive programs let auditees plan around known tests. Question 23. When to do audit follow-up for remediation? The options are A. After actions complete. B. When resources available. C. After control runs for a year. D. When management free. The correct answer is A. After actions complete. Verify fixes only after remediation is done. Question 24. Which risk most affects sampling method? The options are B. Inherent. C. Residual. D. Detection. The answer is C. Control. Control risk impacts how much and what type of sampling is needed. Question 25. During an external quality assessment of the IS audit function, which of the following findings should be of greatest concern to the organization? The options are A. The audit team does not utilize data analytics in engagements. B. Audit reports are not formally approved by the audit committee. C. Audit reports do not reference applicable audit standards. D. Audit engagements are not prioritized based on risk. The correct answer is D. Audit engagements are not prioritized based on risk. A risk-based audit approach is fundamental to ensuring audit effectiveness and relevance. Question 26. An IS auditor discovers that the Information Systems Department follows informal, undocumented quality standards. What should be the auditor's next course of action? The options are A. Report the absence of formalized standards as a finding in the audit report. B. Recommend industry-standard quality frameworks to management. C. Postpone the audit until formal standards are implemented. D. Evaluate compliance with the existing informal practices. The correct answer is A. Report the absence of formalized standards as a finding in the audit report. The absence of documented standards represents a control weakness that should be reported. Question 27. Which of the following is true about both statistical and non-statistical sampling methods in the audit process? The options are A. They fix the level of audit risk. B. They quantify the probability of errors in all cases. C. They provide an equal chance for each item to be selected. D. They require auditor judgment in defining the sampling population and criteria. The correct answer is D. They require auditor judgment in defining the sampling population and criteria. Both methods require auditor judgment to determine the population and evaluate results. Question 28. During a follow-up audit, an IS auditor notes that management has implemented a solution different from the originally agreed-upon corrective action. What should the auditor do first? The options are A. Escalate the deviation to the audit committee for review. B. Mark the audit finding as resolved and close it. C. Assess whether the new action adequately mitigates the identified risk. D. Reperform the audit procedures to evaluate the new control environment. The correct answer is C. Assess whether the new action adequately mitigates the identified risk. The auditor must first evaluate whether the alternative solution effectively addresses the original risk. Question 29. When developing a risk-based IS audit plan, the auditor's primary focus should be on. The options are A. Areas with ineffective internal controls. B. It functions with the highest volume of threats. C. Business processes critical to organizational objectives. D. Priorities identified by IT management. The correct answer is C. The business processes critical to organizational objectives. Business-critical functions should be the foundation for risk-based audit planning, ensuring alignment with organizational objectives. Question 30. Which of the following is most likely to be identified through compliance testing during an IS audit? A. Discrepancies between data and physical inventory counts. B. Confirmation of data accuracy with third parties. C. Processing errors due to system bugs. D. Controls that have not been consistently applied. The correct answer is D. Controls that have not been consistently applied. Compliance testing focuses on whether controls are implemented and functioning as intended. Unapplied controls are a key finding. Question 31. An annual audit plan consists entirely of high-risk areas, but audit management identifies a shortage of available resources. What should be the auditor's next step? A. Remove selected audits from the plan. B. Defer some audits to the next year. C. Present the plan to the audit committee and request additional resources. D. Reduce the scope of high-risk audits. The correct answer is C. Present the plan to the audit committee and request additional resources. Governance must be engaged to resolve the misalignment between audit risk and resource capacity. Question 32. Which type of risk is most important for an IS auditor to report to key stakeholders during an audit? A. Inherent risk. B. Residual risk. C. Audit risk. D. Control risk. The correct answer is B. The residual risk. Residual risk is the remaining risk after controls are applied and must be communicated for informed decision-making. Question 33. If management reports that segregation of duties (SOD) recommendations have been implemented, what should the IS auditor do first? A. Verify SOD controls are in place. B. Request SOD policy documentation. C. Note the response in audit work papers. D. Confirm implementation with the business unit. The correct answer is A. Verify SOD controls are in place. The auditor should first validate implementation by verifying the controls are actually in place. Question 34. What is the best way to address ongoing concerns about the quality and accuracy of internal audit work? A. Require IS audit leads to conduct exit meetings. B. Conduct peer reviews of audit work papers. C. Engage in independent review of the audit function. D. Implement performance evaluations for auditors. The correct answer is C. Engage in independent review of the audit function. Independent reviews offer objective evaluation and help validate the audit function's quality and effectiveness. Question 35. Following an external IS audit, what is the most important factor when prioritizing follow-up activities? A. Timing of major changes in the control environment. B. Materiality of the audit findings. C. Availability of external auditors for support. D. Time elapsed since the audit was completed. The correct answer is B. Materiality of the audit findings. Material findings pose the greatest risk and must be prioritized for remediation. Question 36. A newly assigned IS auditor was an operations manager 6 months ago and implemented a control currently in audit scope. What is the greatest concern? A. Implemented a control in scope 6 months ago. B. Downgraded a control to low risk 6 months ago. C. Previously managed a current process owner. D. Lacks technical experience with the audited system. The correct answer is A. Implemented a control in scope 6 months ago. Direct involvement in control implementation compromises auditor independence. That's a wrap on our CISA Domain 1 practice questions. We've covered audit authority, standards versus guidelines, ethics, and the power of CSA. Remember, it's not just about memorizing answers. Understand the principles behind them. Apply these concepts in real scenarios and keep building your knowledge. Thanks for joining me. Subscribe for more CISA prep and keep practicing. Your journey to becoming a top IS audit professional. And that's a wrap. Keep quizzing, stay sharp, and stay tuned to more quiz from 3V Learning Center to ace that exam.